What's up, Ram fans? Welcome back to yet another week of CTV Sports. I'm Madeline Davis.
And as always, I'm Leah Cackowski. Here's all the fall sports action we have on tap for you tonight.
The Rams had their first conference game on the road, favored over the Utah State Aggies.
Swim and Dive joins women's golf and soccer in full swing, while women's volleyball keeps digging and digging.
Nick Ortiz is back for a full profile on one of our own vice presidents here at CSU. And lastly, join us for a brand new segment to end out the night.
All of that and more here at CTV Sports, which starts right now. Colorado State football entered conference play over the weekend up at Utah State, and it pains me to say they dropped the ball in the second half, leaving Logan with an embarrassing 44-24 score in favor of the Aggies. But it didn't start off bad at all. The green and gold actually came out on top of the world in the first quarter, leading to a quick 17-0 advantage right off the bat. Horton had an amazing 79-yard punt return to get things going, followed by a solid rushing touchdown from Van Shield. However, things couldn't have gone more wrong in the second half. Horton didn't play a minute as he exited with an injury in the second quarter, and well, the offense was just completely in disarray, as they had a whopping 5 turnovers with 3 interceptions. Geez. Utah State, on the other hand, just truly took off, getting the ball downfield, not even giving the Rams a chance. This is the first time we've really seen the offense not work together in the slightest, as the Aggies nearly doubled Colorado State's yards. While the Rams may have bested USU in sacks and finally brought the penalty yards down, the defense could not keep up with the dominating long game from the Aggies. Okay, I get it. Some days are just off. But with such an amazing start the Rams had, I was genuinely shocked and really disappointed to see it go south. The green and gold have to find ways to adjust when people are out too, because the individual numbers didn't match up at all. Taking a look at CSU's main guys versus the Aggies, it's not even close, as all 3 of their best scorers hit triple digits. I mean, 143 yards from Terrell is unreal. And like I mentioned, Holker and Brown just couldn't keep up the ground with the absence of Horton, only having a combined 104 yards. This is also the first time age and experience showed on the quarterback side, as Fowler Nicolosi didn't execute at all like he has been all season. Normally he averages around 340 yards, but this time around he didn't even claim a touchdown, whereas senior Cooper Legas took off, racking up a career best for touchdown appearance and nearly 400 yards. Wow. But Coach Jay Norvell has been coaching long enough to know the ups and the downs. Here's what he had to say in light of Fowler Nicolosi.
You'll go roll around long on offense and kind of have your way with things, and people are going to change. They're going to adjust. They're going to make you adjust. And so when you're a young quarterback, you don't always understand that, until it happens to you. We knew it was going to happen for Braden. We knew that he was going to have to see some coverage and people were going to play more zone, and he was going to have to adjust to that. And he just didn't adjust to it very well. And so it's a great learning experience for him, and he should be better for it next time.
In reality, the second half is really where things fell apart, so let's dig a little deeper and see what really went wrong with the defense. So as you can see, we're in the second half right here, and Kamara is right on top of Booth right now. But as you can see, he finds a way to slip through, and there is no coverage in the middle, taking it to the house right here. And again, okay, we have the snap, and this is one of the best passes I've seen in a long time. I mean, there's really nothing you can do as a safety. He just was able to have the reach right there. And okay, again, perfect ball placement from Legas. Blackburn didn't even have a chance, was not able to hustle, giving him the green light right there.
Like Leah was talking about, this game was all Cooper Legas. I mean, just these next 2 touchdowns, there was honestly not a lot that CSU could do. It was just perfect execution on Utah State. I mean, this next one coming up, watch the grab from the Aggies. You're just going to have to take a look for yourself. Throws it all the way, bam, catches it above the CSU defender. That's just a good catch. The final nail in the coffin, though, this one I think the Rams could have stopped. They pass off the ball, runs about 55 yards. He's got CSU trying to run him down, but he just can't. I mean, running the ball 55 yards, when you don't even fake the throw, not stopping that guy, that's unacceptable.
No, absolutely, because I really hope the guys use this week to rest up and regroup because homecoming is right around the corner. CSU will face none other than the Boise State Broncos, where historically it's literally never gone our way, as Colorado State is 0-12 against them. So hopefully it'll be a great chance to break the Bronco losing streak as well as claim the first conference dub of the year.
Rams volleyball was back home this Saturday for a short home stint against the San Jose State Spartans. That saw them pick up a much-needed 3-0 win after a rough loss against Wyoming just a week ago. The Rams went in front early and kept that lead for the entire match. The second set gave the Rams their biggest test, but ultimately they came out on top 28-26, which led to an unbelievably dominant third set that saw CSU win 25-12. Similarly to their last home match against the UNLV Rebels, the Rams just did not miss, amounting an impressive .427 hitting percentage on 48 kills. Another area where the Rams excelled was in blocks, where the team collected 11 in just 3 sets. Notable players for the Rams included outside hitters Malaya Jones and Kennedy Stanford, who both had double-digit kills, with Jones sitting at 13 and Stanford with 11. The duo also earned 8 blocks as well. The Rams will now head down south for a road trip that includes matchups between both the Air Force Falcons and the New Mexico Lobos, starting this Thursday at 6 at night.
Colorado State Swim and Dive had their first meet of the 2023 campaign, and they finally got bested for the first time in 2 years, losing to the Pokes that broke their previous 23 dual winning streak. Colorado State won their first 16 events of the meet, but Wyoming was just quicker, as the Rams got touched out by 1.36 seconds over 9 swims, costing them a total of 38 points. But there were some areas that looked promising too. Veterans of the 200 medley showed out, falling just a second behind their best time of last year's record. This group managed to rack up a few more points as the meet progressed, but in the end, it just wasn't enough. However, New Face came out with an amazing collegiate debut, none other than freshman Tess Weinray, winning the 100 backstroke with a time of 56.70 and came in second in the 200 distance for backstroke as well. Coach Christopher Woodard is excited for Weinray, as he said, "There's definitely things we can tighten up, and I think she was disappointed in her 200, which honestly is refreshing to me. That's exactly why we got her. She's someone who expects to compete and expects to win every race. And when she doesn't, there needs to be an answer. I'm really happy with her performance." It's always good when newcomers have that kind of competitive mentality, especially when this team is full of upperclassmen experience. The Green and Gold just have a few short days before the Fort Collins hosts Air Force along with New Mexico at the Epic Center.
Another women's team here on campus found themselves in a matchup with the Spartans as well, but this time on the road, when soccer earned themselves a point by drawing a 4-4 tie to SJSU Sunday afternoon. This match was all offense and a bit back and forth. The match started with Olivia Fout scoring her 9th and 10th goals of the season. Hale Otto joined shortly after, putting the Rams up 3-1 in the first half. After the break, the Spartans answered back, scoring 3 goals to take the lead, with 2 of them coming within 48 seconds of each other. CSU tied it up late in the match when Sofia Colombe scored her first college goal on a PK, which led to the 4-4 tie. Overall, while this may not have been the result the Rams were looking for, especially after having a 3-1 lead, at least it's not a loss. And right now, the Rams will take anything they can get to stay within the top 6, with only 5 matches left in the season. CSU will be back at home this Thursday for a matchup with the Colorado College Tigers.
CSU Women's Golf participated in the 2-day Dale McNamara Invitational all the way down in Tulsa, and their tee time started off yesterday morning. The Green and Gold put themselves in a comfortable position for today as they shot a 4-under 573 to sit at 3rd place. And they were just 5 strokes from lead host Tulsa. The individual level was led by Andrea Burgestadter as she was tied for 6th at 3-under. Today, however, wasn't really the same because they actually moved down a spot to finish 4th overall, but positive side, this was their 2nd straight top 5 finish of the year, and Burgestadter also finished at 3-under, which gave her in the top 10 for individuals as well. But They have a quick one coming up because they get to spend their Hall weekend down in Party Town at the Hurricane Invitational in Miami, so stay tuned for that.
While CSU football may have been on the road, Canvas Stadium was far from vacant this past weekend as the Canvas Classic made its return. The event included 2 football games from the 4 Fort Collins high schools, dance battles from students, and even mascot races between the quarters. The first game took place between Fossil Ridge and Fort Collins that came down to the wire, with the Fort Collins Lambkins taking the dub with only a couple seconds left on the clock after kicking a field goal to win 34-31. The second game of the night was a bit less intense though and saw the Rocky Mountain Lobos dominate the Blue Impalas with a final score of 26-0. The event was a hit once again and will be back for at least another 2 years according to contract. That's all the sporting news we have for you right now. When we return, we'll swing into a special feature on one of CSU's beloved club teams.
Living with someone you don't know on the other side of the wall is hard, especially if you don't know how to be a good roommate.
The first thing that you'll want to do to be a good roommate is make sure that you always stay quiet. Be considerate of others when using common spaces and appliances. Hey buddy, what you doing? I'm just gonna need like 40 minutes. Be respectful of your roommate's privacy.
Ugh, my bad.
Finally, make sure that you clean up after yourself. Fresh toothbrush. You see my toothbrush? Follow these tips to get along with your roommates and your landlord.
Welcome back from the break, Rams. I'm Nick Ortiz, and when we look at any CSU team, it's hard, if not impossible, to recognize all those who contribute to our Rams' success, both on and off the field. So let's take a look into what it means to work and play in the world of the ball, mitt, and bat.
I think our team chemistry this year is really huge. There's a lot of bonding that goes on and off the field. I feel like we got a lot of new players this year, and all the older players took a step up, so I think we'll be competitors this year, and we'll make a push.
When you take a closer look at the City Park baseball field, you'll find there's a lot more going on than you might think. More than bats and gloves, more than pop flies and home runs, there's a lot of moving parts that work together to make this team run, and one of those parts is Vice President Bennett Gregory.
As the Vice President, I kind of just help out with the other items and necessities that we need, such as helping out with Lucas or Bryce Coy with travel and safety, and Alex Burton as the treasurer, just kind of making sure everyone gets their things done. Wanted to just be more involved and have a saying in what we do, such as like scheduling, different practice ideas, just have a say in like what happens with the club, because there's a lot that goes into it with sports clubs, and it's kind of confusing, but as a group, we make it work.
There's no doubt that Bennett's role comes with a lot of responsibilities. With all he does for his team, one has to wonder how his association and interactions with the team change with his position.
I kind of ask not to be viewed or, put apart just because of my position. I kind of just want to be there to be a player and have fun, play with other people. We also go to Tempe, Arizona for play other JUCOs and other club teams down there, so it's a lot of traveling. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy practices, and we have this thing called Boundary Fridays where we have all the freshmen swipe us in, so it's just bonding and hanging out and getting to meet kids, know what their life's like outside of baseball, because baseball is just not a huge priority, or it's like a priority, but it always comes second to the students. So yeah, just hanging out with everyone I like.
It was such an honor to steal their time and get to know one of our smaller programs here at Colorado State. When we return, I join Madeline and Leah to talk about our favorite top not plays of the year.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here. But you probably won't. You're busy. Kids, work, show coming back in 48 seconds. So let's do this now. Hold up one finger if you're a man, women 0. 3 more fingers if you're over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40. If you're not sure, keep in mind you're sitting on a couch right now, so 1 more finger if you're not very active. 1 finger if yes, 0 if no. 1 yes, 0 no. Next, find the body type that looks most like you and hold up that many fingers while I look around awkwardly. And that's it. If you're holding up 5 fingers or more, you probably have prediabetes. Sorry to be so blunt, but hey, you're busy. Just go to the site.
Welcome back from the break, Rams, into a brand new segment called the Not Top Plays. Now, each week, there is at least one moment in all of sports that is laughable, questionable, and rewatchable over and over. Each of us have our favorites from the year that we wanted to share with you. And so I, of course, had to mention the would've, could've, should've embarrassing loss that Miami had. So take a look at this. Okay, this is over the weekend, and what was a pretty clear decision to me to take the knee in this situation, they completely ignored it. They did not go into victory formation here, and it cost them a fumble. That's why it's here. It's literally why victory formation is here, is to avoid turnovers. And okay, I mean, look at this. Oh my God. Boom. Game over. Game freaking over. That is one of the worst mistakes I've seen in a while, and I know we all kind of joked, like, even Steve Adazio would probably not have picked that.
Oh boy, do we all remember Utah State from 2 years ago. That might, I don't know. Between that and Utah State,
I know.
Those are like the 2 worst.
Like one of the worst moments. And I mean, Miami is like such a dominant team too. Like they literally had it. Like, what do you think?
Well, I mean, they just kind of got lazy at the end there.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real here. But yeah, I mean, just how do you fumble it that bad? Like quite literally. How do you fumble it that bad? That's bad, dude.
Yeah, because I mean, again, like that's just like common football IQ, and that's like something that's been going on. Like football, especially in college, like when you know that the clock is running out and like you have it, like you take the knee.
Just take the knee.
Yeah. Take the knee. Take it down. Deep breath. Like the worst case scenario is what happened to them right there is that they literally basically handed them the ball. And like honestly, how was it so easy? Like I feel like that was just that wasn't even a bad hit or anything. Like he literally just dropped the ball. So
honestly, I say good for Georgia Tech.
I mean, yeah.
Because you know, Miami, they got a little too confident. They got a little too cocky. They were like, we don't need to take a knee. We've got this.
Yeah.
No chance.
Yeah, and the coach, I know.
They dropped the ball figuratively and literally.
And
Georgia Tech takes advantage.
And I saw, like, literally, I think it was in a press conference of their coach literally just being like, yeah, we shouldn't have done that. Like, that's, like, all you have to say. It's like, yeah, clearly. And I believe he did that. This is his second time that he's done that. And as a coach, I think he did it maybe once in Oregon. So I'm like, that is so embarrassing that, let alone he lets it happen once in his career, but then it happens the second time against Georgia Tech. So,
I mean, just going back to what you said about them being confident, I mean, like, at that point, they were 4-0,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, you look at their schedule, it really wasn't that tough. Leading up to it, their hardest opponent was, like, Texas A&M, who they're now 4-2. So, I mean, like, just lock it down.
Yeah.
Don't fumble it. It's not that hard. Just stay in the game.
Yep.
When you literally, to win the game, all you have to do is, like, not play.
How easy is that?
Like, that's the easiest possible way to win a game in the history of ever.
Of history
and they're
of ever.
like, nah.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
We don't need that.
Not good.
We don't need that.
Well, although that's a good one, I think I can do you guys one better. For my WTF moment of the year, I chose this play from, it was the wild card game between the Vikings and the Giants. So if you look right here, this is last play of the game, or just about, and they got to get a first down. And Kirk Cousins throws it right to TJ Hawkinson. A 3-yard pass. I mean, what was he thinking? Let's run it back here really quick. Let's think about this. You got Justin Jefferson downfield, and you throw it 3 yards in front of you. I mean, come on, man. Like, what are you doing there? You had so many options. You had so many plays that you could have ran. And, I mean, just with the coverage that was on Hawkinson, that was the only wrong one, I feel like.
I know that ruined a lot of a lot of people's days. Not mine, but no, I agree with you. Like, Justin Jefferson is literally one of the best wide receivers in the entire league, maybe in the entire NFL. And so, like, I think probably in that moment it was maybe like a panic and like, okay, I see literally the closest person, let's see. But you're right. He had so much coverage on him too. Like there really wasn't anything that he could have done. And like we met a couple plays, I believe, beforehand. It was that super controversial call of roughing the passer that Giants fans were not happy about because that gave them the first down.
Oh yeah, that
it?
kept them in the game. It
yes.
Which, you know, led to this like continuing the drive. So just it was kind of a waste.
Yeah,
of
totally.
A gift.
Like you get this awesome call in your favor where Giants fans were like, oh my gosh, like
absolutely.
This is kind of getting a little scary right here. But then to like have such a like pathetic play like that at the end, this is kind of like
really just proves that they were frauds.
I was gonna say, and I have like, I mean, the Vikings had quite the season.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
Record-wise, they had quite the season.
Yeah.
I'm not. You know, we all saw what happened in 2015 with the Carolina Panthers. They were, I believe, undefeated until they played the Broncos. We all know how that happened. But, you know, to just end it like that.
Yeah. I mean, when you have like a negative 3-point differential, like, come on, you're not there.
And it's like, again, that's why like the wild card games are so fun because like there is so much on the line, and like you usually get teams that are pretty like evenly matched up in that sense. Because again, we also what happened afterwards. Like the Giants did get killed by the Eagles, which was like
48-22.
Yeah, such not a good game. But I was like proud of the Giants' run last year because this year obviously they're like ranked like the worst team in the NFL.
We're not going to talk about them this year.
No, I mean, maybe we'll get to talk about them in the future on this segment because if I see Daniel Jones trip one more time, like that one iconic, I think that should have been my moment. I think that was 2 years ago when that's one of my favorite moments in football history. But yeah, bad ending on the Vikings.
Yeah, not fun to watch.
Not fun to watch.
Yeah. Talk about bad endings. I got one for everyone. Now, both of those are absolutely incredible. But in my opinion, we saved the best for last. And they both brought plays to the table. I brought a whole franchise to the table. And my franchise is the Mets. Let's just take a look at just what I feel like is
roll the clip.
One of their best games from the season.
Run it back.
Okay, maybe we're not taking a look. Oh, here it is. Okay, so you see the Mets are up. Bases loaded. 1 out, I believe. Or maybe, okay, no. It wasn't 1 out. It was 0 outs at the time. Bases loaded. Walked in a run. Then Kyle Schwarber comes up to bat. You're like, oh, maybe he hits a grand slam. Nope, gets hit by a pitch. Trey Turner hit by a pitch. Walks in the winning run for the Phillies. Before this, Pete Alonso had just hit a home run, gave the Mets a 3-run lead. Mets fans were like, fantastic. We're going to have a fun time. No, bullpen implosion. I mean, and like, that isn't even the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the Mets this year.
Oh, yeah.
Fun fact, I don't know if you guys knew this or not. Take a guess at who the highest paying MLB team was this year.
It was them, wasn't it?
I might have to go with the Mets on that.
Yeah, they like the last 2 years have had like the 2 highest payrolls in all of the MLB.
Yes, and guess how much their payroll was this year?
I think you mentioned it.
Like $500 million?
Yes, $500 million. They were spending $500 million.
And on old players, like older players got that much money.
And I also want to point out that 2 of the 3 highest paying teams in the MLB absolutely blew it this year.
True.
I was considering doing the Padres. Because just how much I hate them, and they spent $365 million to just be terrible. But the Mets, you just can't top it. The Mets, they met it harder than they ever have.
Because that's the thing, they're like one of 3 teams ever in the MLB to have a season last year of over 100 wins.
Yes. Oh my God! And last year,
and to have a losing season the following year.
It was so funny. It was so funny last year. I will never forget how they were first and the NL East for almost all of the season until the last week of the season when the Braves swooped in and took the NL East. And then one of my favorite internet personalities of all time is the Braves mascot, Blooper. He has a phenomenal Twitter, and Blooper just went crazy on Twitter. And it was so funny. And just to see them just absolutely implode.
I know.
Like, I don't really have much against the Mets, to be honest. I don't like Pete Alonso very much.
What? I love Polar Pete or Pistol Pete or whatever they call him. I love him.
I don't like him. He irks me. He irritates me. He takes the home run derby too seriously.
He does. He does love that thing.
Like that. It gave me the ick. Gave you the ick. I was like this. Oh no. No.
I mean, they got such good players, though. Like, I mean, okay, you get Scherzer, you have Verlander, who is obviously, like, a staple for the Astros, who they have been so successful for years past.
And it was crazy. They got rid of Jacob deGrom.
Yeah, I know.
Look at where Jacob deGrom is now. The Rangers.
And they are having.
Look at what the Rangers are doing. Beating the Orioles.
I know.
They're about to sweep them.
Dude, our picks last week, the Dodgers, the Orioles, we were so
okay. The Dodgers, I don't care.
Yeah, the Dodgers are fine, but
the Dodgers, I will take an Arizona Diamondback sweep over the Dodgers.
I'm not mad about it.
But the Orioles, man, I'm so disappointed in the Orioles.
Me too. I'm sad about them too because we both were rooting for them. We're like,
it's just
I'm like, if it's not the Yankees, I want it to be the Orioles.
Like, it's this fun, like, Cinderella story, and now they're blowing it.
I know.
And it makes me upset.
But the Mets, man.
The Mets. Oh my God, yeah. And now Scherzer and Verlander.
This offseason's going to be interesting for them, though.
It is.
They got a lot to look at. Like, aren't they? I thought they were getting a new GM.
Well, yes, they are because they fired Buck Showalter.
Yeah, he was gone.
But guess who wants the job?
Oh yeah.
Joe Maddon. Probably don't know who that is. GM of the Angels.
Oh, and even worse franchise.
GM of the Angels. Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say, like talk about like a failure. Oh boy, do I love the Angels. I love them. But like, how can you have the two best players of all time? Like, not even just like the best players right now. Like, Shohei Ohtani is the greatest baseball player to ever play the sport.
I mean, you got Mike Trout right behind him too.
Exactly.
I was literally number 27 for him. Like, I love Mike Trout.
You have Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani on the same team, and you still manage to have a losing record every year.
That's
every
crazy.
single year, and they're like stuck, and it makes my heart actually like break because they're so talented and like
they're likable too.
They're just great people. Like,
Ohtani's literally making history.
No, like actually,
literally right now.
He is
every day.
Like I am not even lying when I say that he is genuinely the greatest baseball player of all time. People get mad at me for saying that, but like,
no, I think that's a valid take.
People are like, well, like Babe Ruth, and I'm like, who is breaking Babe Ruth's records?
I know.
Shohei Ohtani. He's the only one.
I mean, and he literally, like, with pitching and hitting too. Babe Ruth, I mean, that's also just a total different time period at this point now.
They were all like drinking beers in the dugout.
Like,
smoking
hard
cigarettes before
it's hard to compare because, like, I think Babe Ruth, he's like he's probably my GOAT, but at the same time, like, I don't think in our lifetime, it's like when a LeBron comes, when like a Steph Curry, a Michael Jordan comes along, and he's on literally the entire worst team in the entire MLB besides the Rockies. But anyway, just kidding. But I mean,
no one's paying attention.
I wish we could talk about baseball all day, but unfortunately, Rams, that is all of the sporting action we've got for you tonight. So enjoy your homecoming weekend, and as always, stay safe. We'll see you next week.